Okay. Erev Tov Kulam. Rabotai, it's a pleasure to see everyone here. A lot of names are familiar, a lot of faces. It's good to see, especially those who are listed as iPhone and Galaxy phones. We know who you are. It's a pleasure to have you here today, right before Hag Shavuot. Rabotai, Rabbi Dahan just spoke beautifully, words that can inspire us through Shavuot. I want to take us on a different angle. Imagine today you won a free, all-inclusive trip to an exclusive resort that you wanted to go for the longest. And it's going to be exactly in 7 weeks from today. I imagine there's no virus, there's no issues. You can go and really enjoy this vacation. You've been waiting for it. You finally won. It's in 7 weeks from now. It's human nature to be excited, to every day anticipate that you're going to have that chance to go on that trip that you've been waiting to go on. And the night before the trip, recently, a couple of months ago, I went with my wife somewhere on a vacation. And the night before, I was excited. It was hard for me to sleep. You're thinking about the flights, what you're going to do there when you get there. If everyone who's been married, everyone who's got married, or is dating, if you get married, the day before your marriage, before the wedding, you're very excited. Most people have the trouble sleeping the night before. You're anticipating it. You're excited about it. You can't sleep. Rabotai, on the night before the giving of the Torah, the Jews went to sleep. And in Perkei Rabbi Eliezer, we are told, and everyone knows this, that the Jews went to sleep and they stayed asleep. HaKadosh Baruch Hu comes to the mountain, to Har Sinai, comes to Mount Sinai. He's ready to give the Torah. Moshe Rabbeinu is there, and none of the Jews showed up. Moshe Rabbeinu is forced to go back into the camp and start waking people up. Hello, God's here. He wants to give the Torah. The Jews left Mitzrayim. They left Egypt knowing that they're going to have Matan Torah, that they're going to be getting the Torah. They've been counting Sefirah every single day. And the night before, they're so anticipating the giving of the Torah, they go asleep and they stay asleep. It's something that we have to understand. I mean, we all know that we do Tikkun Leil Shavuot, right? We stay up on Shavuot night because they went to sleep. So we'll stay up and learn. But what were they thinking? What were the Jews who left Mitzrayim, who left Egypt, who knew that they're going to get the Torah, who were counting the Sefirah every single day? Every single day, it's 1 week, 2 days, 3 weeks, everything you're counting. And you go to sleep and you stay asleep until Moshe Rabbeinu runs to wake you up. So I heard from my Rosh Yeshiva, Rav Reisman Shlita, on numerous occasions, he brought down an insight from Harav Schwab, Zecher Tzadik Livracha. Rav Schwab on the Chumash, on both Parashat Yitro and Ve'et Hanan, he asks this question. How could it be that the Jews know they're getting the Torah? It's only human nature to be excited, to anticipate, to wait. So how could it be that they went to sleep? And Rav Schwab says a most important lesson here. Chas v'shalom, the Jews, to say that they weren't excited and they weren't happy. Never, don't think like that. The Dor De'ah, those people who left Mitzrayim, they were on a very high level. But you see, he says, they didn't understand what it means to receive the Torah. What does it mean to get the Torah? They thought, and they compared it to receiving prophecy from God, to having nevuah. And we are told in the Torah, if there shall be prophets among you, in a vision shall I, Hashem, make myself known to him. Many of the Nevi'im, many of the prophets received prophecy while they were sleeping, in a vision, in a dream. The Jews thought that to get Torah, the Torah is similar to a prophecy. So we're going to prepare for Matan Torah. We're going to go sleep. And this way we can get the prophecy of Hashem. And so they went to sleep. And they stayed asleep. Because they thought that Torah is like prophecy. And prophecy, prophets get in a dream. So we'll stay asleep. And this way we'll also get the Torah in our dream. And in there was their mistake. In there lay their mistake, because Torah, the Gemara tells us that Torah, receiving Torah, learning Torah, is greater than prophecy. That in order to receive Torah, you cannot be sleeping. It's not that you come and you have a download of information and it goes into you. No. In order to learn Torah, you have to be up on your feet. As it says in the Psukim, Vayityatzvu, Vayamod ha'am, Yom asher amate lifnei Hashem. Again and again in the Torah, every time it talks about receiving the Torah, it uses the words of people standing. Why do I need to know they were standing? Of course they were standing. What were they doing? Standing, standing, standing. In fact, Shavuot is called Ma'amad Sinai. Ma'amad HaSinai, the standing at the Har Sinai. Why is standing so important? Because in order to get Torah, you have to stand up and act. Stand up and do something. You can't just sit there and expect the information to go into your head and say, oh, I learned it, and you move on. Torah learning means to be an active participant. When you listen to a drash, you listen to a shiur, you have to be an active listener. An active listener listens and asks. And you have to find out, you have to do a maaseh, you have to do an action. And that was what Moshe Rabbeinu taught the Jewish people that morning. He says, you sleeping? They said, yeah, we're sleeping. We're getting ready for the nevuah. We're getting ready for the prophecy. We're getting ready for Hashem to give us a download of information, an upload of information. Moshe Rabbeinu said, that's not the way Torah works. Torah works, you have to stand there, you have to go, you have to learn, you have to do. And the Jews right away understood that. And when Hashem said, you want the Torah, what did they say? They said, Na'aseh v'nishma. We will act. We will do an action first. We're going to do something about it first. We're not just going to sit there and listen. First, we're going to do, and then we're going to listen. We're going to stand. We're going to be ready to act. As the Pirkei Avot tells us in chapter 3, Mishnah 12. Kol shema asab merubim mechachmato. Anybody whose actions, anybody whose mitzvot, anybody whose action from learning is more than his learning, chachmato mitkayemet, then his wisdom will stay. V'chol shechachmato merubam ma'asav. But anybody whose wisdom is greater than his action, he's just learning. He's listening to a class. He's listening to that rabbi. It's a nice story. It's a nice thing. I can say it over. It makes me smart. I enjoy it. It's mental gymnastics. Then it says, he's got no Torah. He doesn't have it. Because Torah means to be actively doing. When you learn Torah, you got to act on it. You got to do it. Abotai, we have a Shulchan Aruch. The great Rabbi Yosef Karo, Maram Bet Yosef, he wrote a codex of Jewish law. Every single Jewish law is in there. You should all have the zichut to learn Shulchan Aruch inside. And the Shulchan Aruch starts off the first halacha. His first halacha, listen to this. Shulchan Aruch starts off. Yitgaber ki'ari. Rise up like a lion. Why? What do you have to rise up like the lion? La'amod, to stand, to be ready to act. Baboker, la'avodat boro. In order to get up in the morning and serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It's not enough. It's not enough to just get up in the morning. You have to get up in the morning to be ready to act. And ready to do ma'aseh. Ready to do an action. Some people, especially nowadays, you know, we have our iPhones next to us, or Galaxy phones. I'm not really picky on either or. And you wake up in the morning, people even before they get to say Moda Ani, they're taking out their phone and they're scrolling on it, they're looking at it. What myself? What action are you starting the day with? Every day is Ma'amad Sinai, Yom Hashishi, the 6th day. We say every time in the prayer on the 6th day, Hayom Yom Hashishi. Every day we say Hayom Yom Ehad, Yom Yom Sheni, Yom Yom Shelishi. On Erev Shabbat, we say Hayom Yom Hashishi on the 6th day. The Gemara in Masechet Avodah Zarah tells us, what's the 6th day? Yom Hashishi is the 6th day of Sivan. The whole world stands on Hashishi, that 6th day, the day of Sivan, the day of giving the Torah. And that means you have to be ma'amad, you have to stand, you have to be ready to act. You really have to be ready to go. On Shavuot, we read the story about Ruth and Naomi. They marry into Elimelech's family. Their husbands die, and Ruth and Orpah, 2 sisters, are left without husbands, are left without father-in-laws. And Naomi tells them, I got nothing for you. Go back home. Be princesses in your father's palace. And Orpah says, I'm going back home. And Ruth says, I'm going with you. Ruth changes history. She gets David HaMelech. All because she took an action to cling, to stay with her mother-in-law, and not just lay down and go back to the way things are. Ruth took an action. Shavuot is about Ma'amad Sinai. Is about getting up and acting. It's about not laying down. This year it's going to be much harder. This year, most of the Rabbanim say, or if not all the Rabbanim say, that we should not be doing Tikkun Leil Shavuot in the shul. It's dangerous. People stay home. But the minhag stays to stay up. If you can't do it, you can't do it. But if the minhag is a great minhag, and there's a guarantee a person who stays up on the night of Shavuot will not see anything bad the whole year. And so, how are you going to stay up? You have to prepare. You have to come to Leil Shavuot with what to learn, with what to do. Because if you stop, you're going to just walk around the house, or let me think of what I'm going to say, you're going to fall asleep. You have to prepare beforehand. You have to come with material to be ready to learn. Rabotai, on Shavuot, we know that we're infused with the ability to get back at what was on Har Sinai those many years ago. We have the ability to get inspired by that and to take action. But it's important to take that action with us, not only on Shavuot, but Ma'amad Sinai that stands every day. As the Shulchan Aruch says, in order to do Hashem's service every single day. I want to end off with one story that will help us better internalize. The story is told, there was a farmer who had 2 horses. And he used to help him pull his wagons every day. and he would pull merchandise, and that's how he would make his living. One night, a thief broke into the farmer's barn, and he was starting to steal the horses. He got one horse out. No problem. And as he was taking out the second horse, the farmer woke up. The farmer woke up, heard a noise in his barn, so he came to check it out. The thief hears the farmer is coming. The thief needs to think quickly on his feet. How is he going to get out of this? He doesn't want the cops called on him. He doesn't want to go to jail. He doesn't want to, what's going to be? So as the farmer walks into the barn, the thief gets down on all fours and goes into the stable from the horse that he already stole. The farmer walks in and he sees a human standing in the stable on all four, on his hands, on his legs. And he says, "What are you doing here? Who are you?" And the thief says, "Do you know who I am? I'm your horse. I was a Gilgul. I came down from Shemayim as a horse because I had Averot. And today, I finished my tikkun. Today, I did tshuva. I'm finished. So Hashem returned me back into a human." The farmer said, "What? That is so amazing. My horse was a Gilgul. My horse made tikkun. My horse is ready to join back society." He says, "Come to my house." He gives him a whole meal, puts the whole food on the table. He says, "Listen, this is a big mitzvah, a big kavod. I can't believe it. It's a miracle." He says, "Listen, I want you to lead a good life. Here's some money." And he gives him a couple of $100 and says, "Go on your way. And may you continue to live a good life. And no more horse for you. You're a human now." No, the farmer goes back to sleep. The next morning he says, "I need a second horse. I need a second horse." So he goes back to the marketplace. He goes to the marketplace. And he's looking for a good horse. And lo and behold, in the marketplace, he sees his old horse is standing there in the marketplace. He walks over to his old horse and he says, "I don't believe it. One day you were out as a human and you already did an avera and you went back to being a horse. How could it be?" Abutai, we have this chance of inspiration. We've learned that we have to take action. Don't be the horse. Horses sleep. They just walk straight. They don't understand. We're the human. The human is able to take the reins of the horse. He's able to take the reins of the guf. And with that, we're able to have Ma'amad Sinai and to take the action and not sleep. Torah doesn't come through sleep. Torah comes through action. And the action must be daily. And Be'ezrat Hashem, with this, we should be able and be zocheh to accept the Torah once again with zealousness and with action. And this should bring us to the Yom Shavuot, the Hag Shavuot, and Be'ezrat Hashem, take us to the coming of Mashiach. B'meheru b'yameinu. Amen. I want to wish everybody a big Hag Sameach, and thank you to Or Natan for arranging this.
Thank you, Moshe Shimon, for your beautiful words.